My name is Burton Kivik, and I live in Inuvialuit, NWT, and I really like my culture because it's how my mom grew up and like what she went through to get where she is now. It's grateful because whatever she does is something like this. This is what my mom lived on. She lived on the land. So this is like kind of how my mom lived. Just a big river. So that's one of the reasons why I love my culture. Because you learn how to hunt. And you learn how to live on your own. Like back then in those days, there wasn't a grocery store that you could just go to buy what you need. You need to hunt for what you need to survive. And I just think if life was still like that, it would be much easier. When I think about it, like how my mom grew up, I just think like, how can so many people just live on the land, like survive on their own? It's like living in igloos and all those sort of stuff. I just can't imagine doing that. There's no grocery store, no place to shop for clothes. You have to make your own clothes. You have to watch over yourself. Living out on the land, I think, would be like the most hardest thing to do in life. That you have to live actually on land by yourself with your family. You have to raise yourself with your family. You have to learn how to hunt so you could raise your own family. Just imagine it.
I guess most of the families walked from Alaska, then they settled in the Delta, then from there they started learning how to trap and fish, and then they had dogs, and they started raising dogs, and that is their transportation, and that is very important to them. As you can see a lot of camps all spread out now. Before that used to be one big camp. We never used to have houses back then. We used to have all tents, and that's how we grew up. You know, we learn how to survive out here. You know, even though it's a little bit cold, we learn how to pack the wood and all that kind of stuff. Because you know, back then we didn't have any, you know, good means of trying to haul lots of wood out here, because you know you have to haul lots of food out here, lots of gas, all that stuff. So we have to improvise and try to make things work for you, how you travel. Whaling is a way of life for us Inuvialuit. You know, some of us started at a really young age, and we learned from it, and that's focus of this whaling camp this year is trying to learn the young folks how to hunt whale and how to prepare the muktuk and everything like that, and get ready for the long winter.
This is what keeps the whale afloat.
So where do you tie it on?
We tie it on to the bottom, and the string, it has to be long so the whale could try to stop moving around. And then once it moves and it barely moves and gets tired, we shoot it with a shotgun, and then we let it stay there for another 10-15 minutes so it can so we make sure it doesn't move or anything while we're boating. And before when we were going whaling, there was a beluga whale right there. I saw its blowhole.
It's not only the whaling part of it. It's the trapping. It's the learning how to travel out in the land and learn how to be. You have to be patient in what you do when you travel. You can't just go one place with a skidoo and just go real fast and not look where you're going, and you might not know what big wind might come up. You're not going to know how you're going to get back home then. So you got to be patient when you travel. And it was something that was always in me, I guess, to be patient and learn how to travel out in the land. Because I got the training from my parents, my dad and my grandfather. So it's a good way to learn.
So what do you think of whale camp so far?
It's good.
What's it been like? Like, can you explain it? How does it work?
Like, we wake up, we have breakfast, we get with our go whaling, and then we play around for a while. We have lunch, we go swimming. After swimming, we play, maybe go for a walk, and then we eat supper. And then after supper, we play a couple of games before we go to bed. Play Red Rover. Kick the can.
Touch the flag. And
Kick the can.
can and go boating. Catch 10 whales maybe. And
We use a washroom before we go to bed.
we use the washroom, we go to bed, we play out, we have fun, and
When I was growing up, I grew up in the residential school time, and right after the school finished in June, that's when we come down here, and we stay down here for pretty close to 3 months, and we stay down here all the time. And it's great out here. It's just a great holiday for us. I call it the Hawaii of the North, NWT. So it's a great. It's a good place for kids to be. You're away from all the fast pace and that kind of stuff. And then the camp situation nowadays is different. All of us got houses now, and it's a faster mode of transportation now. You got the big boats and you got the outboard motors, and wintertime you got the skidoos now, so it's a different way of traveling. You have to adjust to it. Well, today we went out about a little after 10 or so, and we ran into whales maybe a mile out of here, just outside the island here. And I had my grandson in front, and he was trying to get a whale, but just couldn't harpoon it. It just keep bouncing off, so we lost that whale. We couldn't get it, so we turned around and looked for another whale, and we got one close to Pelly Island there. We brought it back and came here and butchered it and put it all away. So the kids are really excited. The ones who are in a boat. Some of them, the first time they've seen a whale, and I'm hoping that just the way we did it, I hope they can see that they can learn from it and try to follow what we do. That's our main focus right now.
First we cut the tail, and first we measured it. It was 15 feet
And 13.
13 inches, and then we we did the tail 1.5 feet. Then we did the fin like 13 inches. Then we cut the head first, and then I keep on asking them to take out a tooth, but then they wouldn't let me. And we found the esophagus. Look at that.
Oh yeah, it's very, very important to be patient with the kids, especially when you're hunting out there. You can't push the kids too hard, eh? And if they want to learn, they're gonna learn. But if you push them too hard and you get too excited, then it's you're not training them. You're training them to be excited, and you're not doing a good job that way.
Come, Trevor. Pull on this.
The values that growing up on the land is that you learn how to travel out in the land. You learn how to do things that your elders tell you to do. Because if you don't learn how to do it, you're not going to survive. That's if you can't learn what they tell you to do, you're not going to survive. That's just the bottom line right there.
Right here.
I'll go help them.
Well, the youth are, like I said last time, some of them are not really interested in really hunting the whale. They're more interested in just coming to the whale camp. And those that don't want to learn are going to learn, but there's a few of them that still like to come out to the whale camp and just have a nice time in that. And some of them are a little bit young yet, but hoping that they can some of this stuff that we do for them in the whale camps will get through to them.
To the what?
Kendall
Island. I came to my room and fixed my bed.
and
Then I went outside and
I played game with the kids for long,
and
I had fun.
And we had supper, we had caribou soup, and it was good. I had 2 bowls of soup, and then we came to rest our tummy, and then we fixed all of our beds, and then we did our journals, and then we went to bed. There.
Well, education today is really important for the young kids, because if you don't finish school, and the trapping industry right now is not that great, and young people are not learning how to trap and all that kind of stuff. And if you don't finish school, you're not going to make it in this world, because the population is just too high right now, and the price of food and all that kind of stuff. Mode of transportation is high. You have to have money for that. I mean, it's, and if you don't finish school, you're just going to be, at the age of 18, 19 years old. It's scary for some kids, I think. It's very important to finish your education.
My name is Trevor Charlie. I live from Inuvik. I'm born in YK, Yellowknife. moved here about 7 years ago. I'm 16 years old. I got braces. Well, I go to school. I'm grade 11. Inuvialuit's awesome. I got a lot of friends here.
Hi, my name is Angus. People call me Gus. Things I like about Inuit is it's wicked. Just going out on land, learning how to survive in the wilderness and get to shoot around with the guns and get lost and find your way back and yeah. Like listen to elders like them telling stories and shit like that. So I'm like pretty interested in about my culture and that. I like to find out more about my culture. Why? Because it's like a mystery to me. It's like a blur.
We Inuvialuit and Gwich'in. We from Inuvik and we chill in. We got the 2 months of summer of bright. And we got the whole winter of night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have a different lifestyle. It's some kids, they don't have a way of coming down to the whale camp, and that I guess that's the reason that they do the summer whale camp, is to give the kids opportunity to come down to the whale camp and see what we do out here, and you know, just to learn try to pass on our tradition and try to make it you know, easy as possible for them to get to make that transition too. Oh yeah, it's a real big difference. For me, when I was growing up, it was a, you know, really slow pace like thing. The old timers are always patient in what they did, and they never rushed at anything they did. It was always it took time to prepare everything for their winter supply of food. So it's I'm there. Us younger generation learn how to be patient, and you know, it's a gift it's real good to have. Because if you don't be patient, you're going to get hurt along the way somewhere. And that's you know, if you try to do things too fast, and it could be dangerous for you. You know, you might get hurt or something. So you got to be patient. Well, some of the challenges is for I don't know, for the young people nowadays. The challenges are they you know, I see it, you know, as I see it anyways, is they're going to have a tough time, you know, just to learn how to do the things we done. Because if they, you know, us back then, we were willing to learn. I don't know, nowadays it's the few that's going to learn. And then, you know, I'm just hoping that they take it more to heart, that, you know, these things are for real. They're not just for, you know, just go to a camp here and go to a camp there, and you say you travel to Kendall Island. It's more to it than that. It's lots of preparation, lots of planning to make that trip. You know, nowadays the gas prices are up, the food prices are up, so you have to plan that, all that kind of stuff. And how long you're going to be down at your whaling camp, you have to plan for how long you're going to be there. And that, you know, it's a lot of planning and a lot of money there to come down this way. But it you know, money is not a, when you want to come down to a whaling camp, it's not a real issue if you like coming out to hunt. You know, it's a tradition that needs to be taught in our schools, and you know, our elders got to teach it more. I think that's you know, it's a real good tool to start it at the schools. That's a #1 priority right there. Well, tradition for me is a real gift. For me, it was a real gift because, you know, I know how to do all the stuff that my granddad and my dad taught me how to do, and you know, it's how to prepare your meat, how to prepare your blubber, your muktak, your anything that you hunt. You just how to learn to how to prepare it. Especially in the summertime, this time of year, you know the food can go bad pretty quick, eh? So if you don't watch what you're doing and you don't know how to do it, it's going to be dangerous for you, because you might make your food might turn into poison or something. So that's a danger in it. If they don't learn that, then that's where they're it's no good for them. Oh yeah, it is. It is in a way, but you know, in anything we have to change with time, eh? Yeah. But we still got to keep that tradition going. That's just a. Even though we change with time, we still got to try to keep that tradition going, and that's what we're trying to do here. Is trying to keep that tradition going, to teach the young guys or young people or young kids how to, you know, how to whale, and that's a. And it just don't happen overnight for us. It's a long process. You know, we come down here at a young age, and by the time we turn 12 or 15 or something like that's when, you know, that's when you learn that much, and it's going to be your turn to do that. So, you know, it's always changing. It's always changing hands, eh? So that's what I'm trying to do, is trying to change hands with my grandchildren, and who knows, all the other kids that are there with them, they learn that process too. Education is a number one. If you don't finish your education, you're not gonna get a good job to get the boat you want to go come whaling, or get the skidoo you want to go hunting, and keep your tradition going. So that you know, just stay in school and you'll get all the toys you need later on. Well, I think that for the kids, for the younger generations today, is that they just keep on trying to learn your tradition, try to keep it going. I mean, we're the ones that's going to try to pass it on to them, and the ones that are willing to learn it, and you know, keep that tradition going. And I think it's a really important thing. But first of all, you have to finish your education first, and you can do the tradition all you want after. So that's how I see it anyway.
My name is Nita Allen. I'm 12 years old and I live in Inuvialuit. I lived here for 12 years, my whole life. Well, we're playing today at the grade 6 school park. It's really fun. Well, I love wrestling. I started it 2 years ago. And I didn't know it was going to be that fun, but it was so much fun. I got a wrestling plaque, 2 gold medals, and a silver. I traveled to Calgary with the wrestling group, and I wrestled against these other people that I met, and it was so much fun. My culture is... Well, my culture is going out in the bush, catching fish, drum dancing, jigging, and all that kind of stuff. I want to become an elder because I could tell children stories and tell them about my tradition and my culture. And it's important to keep your culture because people don't think it's important, but it's important to me. Well, I have a dream.
So can you tell me about your dream?
It's to travel all over the world. You could know new cultures, see new people, learn their cultures. The world is different because, long time ago we didn't have television or electricity or any of those stuff, but nowadays we do. The most important value for me is I don't know. It must be children not doing drugs and drinking and smoking, because it'll ruin their life. I think the thing that I would change is to just have no more alcohol, no more drugs, no more cigarettes. Well, my family, they're so nice, they're so lovable, they're so huggable, they're so kissable. Well, people finish school and do your best and try to reach your goal. It's just important.
My name is Mike Sheehan. I'm the founder and director of Beatboard Education and Training. Beatboard is a youth leadership, new media, and contemporary arts education organization. We custom design programs for communities, and that's exactly what we're doing here in Inuvik. I understand the Inuvik Youth Centre Society secured funding from the Canadian Council of the Arts and the History Channel to purchase a professional music recording studio and a professional video and editing recording studio. And that equipment was flown from Edmonton. It's now in the youth center, and a team of Beatboard facilitators have been working with the young people in town, designing programs, raps, poems, and making videos showcasing their lives and their thoughts around their traditional culture.
Check. It's working.
Okay. Perfectly?
Perfectly.
I'm so scared.
You're gonna do wonderful. Your rap is great. The beat is pretty good too. We're happening here. Don't you worry. Okay, so you just start in whenever you want. Do you want me to count you in, or are you gonna be good?
I don't get it. Like, are we starting all the way from here?
What's that? No, we're just gonna get into that. That's the only part that you have to worry about. I'll start it a little bit farther back.
My name is Sarah, and I'm here to say that frickin' fresh is the way to play. I was born in the month of May. Music in my life like every day. Listen to the beat. I love music. Listen to the beat. It makes me move it. Me and my friends, we all click. We're not a gang, but we're pretty slick. I'm different from I messed up.
That's fine. You know what?
I
That's
messed up.
totally fine. Yeah, no worries. And then you say,
Danny.
yeah, French European.
Is that it? Culture.
Including your. And then record the other part. That's what I thought you'd want to do. That's how the pros like to do it. All right, here we go again.
My name is Sarah, and I'm here to say that frickin' fresh is the way to play. I was born in the month of May. Music in my life like every day. Listen to the beat. I love music. Listen to the beat. Makes me move. Me and my friends, we all click. We're not a gang, but we're pretty slick. I'm different from everybody else, and I feel good about myself. People say every day is the same, but I know I can make a change. Maybe DNA, French, Norwegian, good with the culture, including European. And when I walk, I sway, and when I talk, I say, frickin' fresh is the way to play. Frickin' fresh is the way to play. Frickin' fresh is the way to play. Frickin' fresh is the way to play.
Yeah! It became apparent that in order for this program to go deeper and to have a greater impact, we're going to need to connect with the adult community. We're going to need to connect with the elder community here. And we began asking around and meeting people and asking the youth, you know, who are the role models and who are the people in town that we'd like to bring into this project, who are older than you, that you'd like to talk with and spend time with. I'm talking with my new friend, Ron English. You called us at our house here in Inuvik where we're staying, and with just having some interest in this program. How did you find out about us?
Yeah, it's an interesting coincidence. I was just over at my sister's and she gave me a little information about what you guys were doing here, and I got really excited about that. And I said, geez, you know, if that's happening here, I don't want to miss out. I want to get into seeing what you guys are doing and what I can offer to you guys to help out and this and that, because I've been involved in some of the graphics sort of businesses in the past, so
right.
Exciting time.
What did she tell you that we were doing?
Well, something about making movies, and that was pretty interesting. I always wanted to get involved in that since I went to Banff years ago. I took a 7-day course on kind of what the internet has to offer back in '97, which was a long time ago. Things have changed since then. But yeah, they talked about a lot of this stuff and the music industry and how all that's going to change the world back then, and now to see it all just happening, I want to see where it's at and like how I can get involved, and if I can be a part of all, you know, what you guys are doing, and I would like to offer much of my experience as I can.
We felt more encouraged to connect with the adult community and with the elder community so that we could create a legacy that wasn't dependent on us, that it was a sustainable model of leadership. And any chance that we could to work with an enthusiastic adult who worked well with young people, we were really excited to bring them into the program and realize that it's those people who live here, who are part of this community, those are the people who will actually be able to hold this program, to hold this enthusiasm, to hold the care and respect for this equipment, and to create a culture that makes it normal to be creatively expressive, and to enhance a culture that makes it normal to lift each other up and respect each other.
Well, I think it's going to bridge a lot of communication barriers. You know, in the past, it's always been, you know, they teach you something in high school, and they, you know, you want to get out, you want to learn all this new stuff on what's on the computer and stuff like that. You want to jump into this new modern world. Well, these kids are just, you know, right in the thick of it. They're getting all of this stuff, and I think that has the biggest opportunity for like everybody, you know, to enter this supposedly new world. You know, in some ways, some people always say we come from like the Stone Age in some ways, and you know, from the past, just being on the land and stuff like that. You know, we had a pretty rich culture in how we lived and how we got along here, and you know, we got along for years, both cultures in a lot of way, and I think, you know, that can be shown to maybe the rest of the world through this modern media here, and web pages, music. Right. Just a movie or two or something like that, maybe even some animations, and the people with their skilled and artistic abilities, you know, I think it's all going to come out in a positive way.
There are skilled people who have the resources right now here in this community to meet all the needs of this community.
Okay. Oh no!
These young people are speaking hip-hop. These young people are speaking techno, metal, and country as well. And they're also speaking Inuvialuit. And there's also Gwich'in people here who are learning their traditional dancing. And if we can show them those tools and they can showcase their real lives, then not only do I think that will be interesting for people of the South to see these northern perspectives, I also hope that these media projects work in preserving the traditional culture.
Again from the top. Here we go. Inuvik.
We know that these young people are still inundated with mainstream media. We know that they're on MySpace, they're on Facebook, on Bebo, they're watching YouTube videos, Much Music, MTV, all of the whole mainstream media gamut. And we're not interested in replicating these mainstream pieces. What we hope to do here is to engage these young people with these professional tools so that for some, it'll be the first time that they're not just sitting back taking in this mainstream culture, but for the first time, some are at the controls, using the controls and using these tools to showcase their ideas, to showcase their culture. I see these young people here, these Inuvialuit, these Gwich'in and Métis people, and I wonder what it's like for them to grow up as an indigenous person living in this modern world with cameras and TVs and internets and computers. And for these young people, I think it's a journey for them, and I think a lot of those young people have a foot in both worlds. They have one foot tapped into their traditional culture and wanting to learn more and feeling a desire to feel a stronger identity with their traditional culture. And I also see an interest and a fluidity and an understanding of the mainstream culture as well. And it's interesting to see the pieces that come out of this. It's like you'll see someone with traditional regalia on doing their cultural drum dancing with skateboard shoes on, and then taking the regalia off and putting their hip-hop hoodies on. And for these young people, it's a unique experience, I think, growing up in 2008 on the Gregorian calendar here in a somewhat remote community in northern Canada.
My name is Trista Airy, and I'm originally from Aklavik. I was born here in Inuvik. I'm 17 years old. I am currently in grade 12. About 3 or 4 years ago, I started going to practices with one of my friends. And at first, I didn't want to get up and dance or anything, but after a couple weeks, I just slowly started getting up and learning all the dances. I first learned how to drum dance when I was in kindergarten, but after that I never drum danced, and I finally started again about 3 or 4 years ago. Drum dancing to me is just a way to keep myself busy, a way to have fun with elders. And they love it when young kids get into it without being forced to. So I just kind of like being there with the elders and hearing their stories and just listening to them sing. I just feel free. I just feel like nobody's there, and just, I don't know, I just feel free. I think it's important because without our traditional language and drum dancing and the traditional food we have, I don't think there'd be anything left for the Inuvialuits. So I'm proud to say that I'm part Inuvialuit and I've learned how to drum dance and I know my ways of traditional values and I know a lot about traditional food.
We had a performance at one of the local cafes at Cafe Gallery, and we had 40 people there on our third day here in town, and we showed some of them films that we had already made, and pin drop silence when the film was up on the big screen. And it wasn't Tom Cruise or Angelina Jolie, it was them for the first time. And seeing themselves and hearing them speak clearly and hearing them talk about their traditional culture. And I believe that it was an exciting process for some of those young people. And my hope is that through that excitement and seeing themselves, that now they're the star, they're the producer, they know these tools and know how to work them, that they'll be able to continue long after we're gone, showcasing their perspective on their community and their lives. And this is preserved on tape and it's filmed by the young people. And when they watch that on YouTube, they get the satisfaction of, I made that video. And they also get the satisfaction of hearing, like, that's my traditional culture. I can hear how the words are pronounced in my traditional culture. And I really hope that this project with Beatboard here with the Inuvialuit Youth Center, that it really acts to do two things. Strengthens these young people confidence to get them behind the controls of these mainstream tools, and it also works to preserve the traditional culture.
My name is Moshizzle. And here is the dizzle. I was born in July. I want my raps to be fly. I'm only 13 years old, but my rap is ice cold. This one's about the youth center and me and Mike.
Yeah?
And this one's about me and music and bullying and poverty, I think.
Okay.
What's poverty then?
Starving children in Africa and stuff. Bullying and teasing should stop. You're making everybody drop to the floor and start crying. Also in the inside, I bet they're dying. You hurt their feelings, their heart may be tearing and peeling. Stop the bullying, you're hurting people who didn't even do a thing. I like that.
Poet.
I'm not a poet, I'm a rapper.
But she makes a poet into rapper.
Same thing, yeah.
So,
check.
Yep.
Storm, frozen rain, hail, blizzard, drizzle. My name is Moshizzle, and here's the dizzle. I'm 13 years old, my rap is as cold. Living in the Arctic, my style is bold. Not enough subjects to learn about in school. I need more knowledge to make learning cool. More Inuvialuit culture education. More languages before graduation. Less adults who don't care and neglect. More adults showing love and respect. More teachers who make me laugh. More fun things to do after class. Music is traditional in all cultures. It's all put together like a perfect sculpture. We come from Inuvialuit Nation. Our heritage is ancient, full of creation. Music is traditional in all cultures. It's all put together like a perfect sculpture. We come from Inuvialuit Nation. Our heritage is ancient, full of creation. Bullying, teasing, what would it take to stop? I'd rather rise up than to see my people drop. What would it take to stop the bullying? You're hurting people who didn't do a thing. I want friends who care about me. Friday night hangouts, make a movie. 2 a.m. phone calls, pillow fights. Singing crazy songs and rhymes to write. I'm focusing on my goals and dreams in the center of the stage in the bright light beam. All eyes on me and the audience screams. Everybody friendly and nobody mean. Music is traditional in all cultures. It's all put together like a perfect sculpture. We come from Inuvialuit Nation. Our heritage is ancient, full of creation. Music is traditional in all cultures. It's all put together like a perfect sculpture. We come from Inuvialuit Nation. Our heritage is ancient, full of creation.